Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel that is Govt Drish, and today is Lucent series General Knowledge Part 14. We have almost reached the end of the modern history and we have covered the ancient as well as the medieval and modern history. So now let's know about the important dates which were prevalent during this time period and which you should take in consideration and keep in mind for future questions and get ready for better competitive exams. Material. So first the latest medieval, and here it is 712 where there was first invasion in Sindh by the Arabs. We all have learned about this. This was the Muhammad bin Qasim's reign. We have 836, the taxation of King Bhoja at Kannauj. We have 985, accession of Rajaraja, the Chola ruler, then Sultan Muhammad Ghazni. Then this is very important, like first invasion of India. This is, you can say, quite important time period, like when the Jaipal was defeated. Even the Somnath temple destruction by Ghazni is also important. This is also important. First battle of Terrain, second battle of Terrain. Mark the dates and know it chronological way, so that for that reason only this important dates have been mentioned, so that you get to know about all the events in a better chronological way. Taxation of Qutb Airbag, then his death, then when Genghis Khan had invaded India, Mongol invasion, then after Razia Sultan's accession, then death of Razia Sultan, then we have accession of Alauddin Khilji, then his death, then we have the accession of Tughlaq, then how he had also transferred the capital from Delhi to Devagiri, and then we have foundation of Vijayanagar, then we have accession of Firoz Shah Tughlaq, now the Taimur's invasion of India, then we have birth of Guru Nanak, which is also very important, very important. Mark this, because this is one of the dates which is very important for a particular follower of religion. And then we have Babur's accession in Farghana. Then we have first voyage of the Vasco da Gama, that he had found the sea route to India by the Cape of Good Hope. So you can see this was the time period when the actual history began of India. Then we have first battle of Panipat, where Babur had defeated Ibrahim Lodi. So this was also an important date. Then all the battles name, then all the important birth dates of the important political leaders or any political events is important. Death of Babur, then when Humayun had, was defeated by Sher Shah Suri, in which battle? Okay, when did Humayun recapture the throne of Delhi? When did the second battle of Panipat took place? When was the battle of Talai Kota? Then battle of Haldi Ghati? Then the Bhilai, when it was found by Akbar, which is very important and very famous. Then East India Company established. We have charters of East India Company. So 1600 also a charter. Then this book of Akbar. Then we have Guru Arjan Dev's education, as well as the fifth, who was the fifth Sikh Guru. Then this is important, when Thomas More visits Jahangir, birth of him. Then when Shah Jahan becomes Emperor of India. Then death of Mumtaz Mahal. Then this is very important. When did the English was permitted to trade in India, that to free trade? Okay, then relaxation of Aurangzeb. Then his imprisonment, then death of Shah Jahan. Then we have the ninth Guru. Okay, so when it can come like this, when was fifth and ninth Guru of six execution, so they can give you two deeds and among them you have to decide. Then you have death of Shivaji, Aurangzeb. Okay, so this was all about the medieval history. Now let's know about the modern. Battle of Plassey, which is very important and one of the significant time when the British political rule was actually established in India. Then we have third battle of Panipat, we have battle of Buxar, and then Clive was appointed the company general, or you can say governor in India, when he was elected, when we first had our Anglo-Mysore war. Okay, second Anglo-Mysore war, this is about the third one. Then permanent settlement of Bengal. This had come in a form of very different topic, you can say. Fourth, Treaty of Bassein, Treaty of Amritsar, then Raja Raman. This is not that important, but his death is important. Then We have first Anglo-Afghan wars, first Anglo-Sikh war, we have second Anglo-Burmese war. Okay, so when the first okay, when the first railway line that had opened between Bombay and Thane, and when was the telegraph line in Calcutta introduced or opened? When was the Sepoy Mutiny? Sepoy in the revolt of 1857, or you can say the first war of independence. Then birth of Rabindranath Tagore, Mahatma Gandhi is also important because these are the political leaders which have played a significant role in the Indian history. So it's very important. You can say Indian history or you can say the modern history. Then we have INC's foundation date, then Jawaharlal Nehru, our first Prime Minister, then Subhash Chandra Bose, which is more important, then Tibet expedition, Young Husband delegation, partition of Bengal by Lord Curzon. This has been one of the most talked topic of the independence. Then Muslim League, another electorate, when did that even take place? When Delhi becomes the capital of India. This is very important because Delhi is still the capital of India, and this question may arise that when did Delhi become the capital? World War One, World War Two, when World War One began, when it ended, even World War Two when it began, when it ended. All the dates are important. Lucknow Pact. We have heard of this topic quite a lot of times. Then we have Monte Clemson, General Wala Bagh massacre at Amritsar is also one of the important, because that was the time when all the revolts were coming up, all the atrocities were coming up. Then we have Khilafat movement, we have Simon Commission's boycott. Then we can say Lala Lajpat Rai's death. He was also one of the prime ministers of India, and it's still mysterious. So that is also an important timeline. Then we have the Purna Swaraj, when it was introduced, who introduced it. Okay. Then the civil disobedience movement that was launched by Mahatma Gandhi. Then the pact came in between. Then Government of India Act and the Gandhi Pact, Government of India Act 1930, which is still prevalent and still looked upon. That is important. World War II began date, and when Subhash Chandra Bose he had escaped of India, then the Rabindranath Tagore died. Then there was Cripps Mission in India, Quit India movement. Then trial of Indian Army at Red Fort. We had Shimla Conference, we have World War II, and we also have seen when British Cabinet Mission they had visited India. Interim government was formed at the center, and finally the partition date, when India, after all the provincial government, then another such Government of India Act reference, Constituent Assembly is also important. I think the Constituent Assembly is not mentioned here, but please go through that as well. Constituent Assembly, when the Constitution was effective from when the drafting committee was formed. All these topics are very important, and finally India and Pakistan was divided, and then they had formed the separate independent documents. So this was all about the important dates that was in ancient history, medieval history, modern history. So last video I have completed the ancient history's important dates, and now I have given you the medieval and modern dates. So go through all of it. If you have any query or any problem, you can comment down in our comment box section, and we will try to help you out. Till then, keep watching our videos. Meet you in our next video. Take care. See you.